IVM.
Hey, nerds, welcome to a very, very special episode of the Geek Fruit Bulletin. I'm Jishnu, and this week, we don't have a Tejas, we don't have a Dinkar, we have a ghost from producer past. His name is Siddhanth Mehta.
Yo, I'm back on this.
Hi.
Hi.
It's been a minute.
It has.
You've been AWOL for how long now?
2
You've been
years.
gone for it's
Yes.
been ages.
It's been a
It's
long
so good
time.
to see you.
Yeah.
We are privileged to have your opinions today on this week's news and not news. You're back for just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just enough time for us to get you in the studio.
I'm just here to give opinions.
We'll
hot takes.
We'll take them. I'm tired of hearing our own
I'm
opinions.
a hot take machine.
So, just in preview of next week's episode, we are going to be going through basically Siddhanth's hot takes on everything that we've talked about in the year 2019. Far inferior to 2017, if you ask me personally. But hey,
Yeah.
It's been a pretty good year.
It's for sure.
We'll see if Sid agrees. But for now, we have news. Or maybe not. More likely than not, it's not. Let me begin with some fan news. There's actually something quite incredible that came in today. A man by the name of Satyam slid into our DMs.
Oh, yeah.
As one does. Mm-hmm. And here's a pretty unique fact. I would call this news.
Okay.
Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Seen it? Heard of it?
Turn Off the Dark.
The Broadway musical.
Oh, no, I couldn't watch that.
Right.
Apparently, it's hazardous to health.
It is literally hazardous to health. There were several injuries and many insurance policies cashed in.
Yeah.
People hurt themselves tragically.
Yeah,
including,
like it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But now, the musical is known for its music by
musicals
my
tend to
boys,
be, you know.
by my boys,
Yeah.
Bono and The Edge. Tej,
Oh, yeah.
Bonobos and Tej.
They're good at
However,
music.
here is the news that maybe you didn't see coming. Imagine Dragons. Do you know them?
Yeah. Apparently, the
Imagine
flavor
them?
of 2019 is to hate on Imagine Dragons.
How long have they been around?
Oh, they've been around for a while. I'm just saying, it's the metal bands of past have spent their time saying, Imagine Dragons, Imagine Music, stuff like that. You know, this lovely, generational hatred that lingers in music. It's one of those. So
Are
it's
you
like,
saying they're a new Nickelback?
They could well be, you know.
They're getting there?
I think Nickelback don't want them to have this because it's Nickelback's burden to bear alone. Nickelback is suffering
I bet
for
they
all
enjoy
of
it
us.
at this point.
Yeah, Nickelback's doing great.
I hope they enjoy it.
I'm pretty sure people book them to troll audiences.
Speaking of, before I forget, I must thank people for a beautiful time we spent at Comic-Con, speaking of music and bad music.
Yeah.
We just, total non sequitur, because that's what we do. The three of us from Geek Fruit were lucky enough to go down to Comic-Con Mumbai this past week. We had a great time. We met a lot of people there. Just want to say a quick shout out and thank you to everybody that came and said hi and bared with us through about 30 minutes of your favorite TV show songs and Disney songs from yesteryear and today's year.
It was a spectacle, man.
It was great.
I was watching that stuff on the gram because that's how I consume content now as a young millennial boy. It was great to see you guys on stage doing your thing and to see your phones rising up to catch every minute.
It was great.
Of music and magic that you were making.
There were several hundreds of people there, and all of maybe 5 people in the audience that were born in the 80s.
Yeah,
along with us. We checked. We counted.
That's
We
great.
asked out loud, and that's what we got.
It's cool, man.
The
You're
feeling
a thought
of being
leader.
older. We are exactly 30 years old.
Yeah.
Which is not that old.
No, it's not.
Exactly 30 is not that old.
Yeah. The last time I was here, I was 30 years old.
Being 30 feels like being the youngest adult in the room. When you're in your late 20s, it feels like being a really old teenager. It feels like being a bitter teenager.
Bitter.
When you're
That's
30,
key.
it feels like being a kid, being the youngest kid in the room of adults.
Yeah.
But you're still an
You
adult.
still get to be an adult.
You still get to be an adult.
Correct.
That being said, felt old as f***.
Yeah, you should have. So
Anyway.
speaking of old as how did
Yes.
Bono and Edge do
They did... What do you mean?
in the Spider-Man musical?
Pretty solid.
Yeah?
It's not terrible. It's actually quite good. They have a couple of good ones. But that being said, the musical itself, I haven't seen it.
No?
I've heard nothing but bad things. It's basically the Nickelback of Broadway shows.
Damn.
That being said, my news that I was getting to is verbatim. Shout out again to graphic_Pandit for sending this in. The band Imagine Dragons was hired to make some demo music for the Broadway musical. But after the producers heard the demos, they were deemed too good to not be released on an album. So they changed the songs to not have any references of Spider-Man. So they released the songs such as Radioactive after the fact. So now let your mind spin in a tizzy as to what that could have been.
Can I just say that was a catchy song? I liked it.
But now imagine if it was Radioactive Spider-Man.
Or it could have been something else altogether. It could have been like, because a lot of people are radioactive out there in the Spider-Verse, you know?
This is true.
So it could have been like everyone's plight of being radioactive, you know?
What if it was like just a song or a story about like radioactive fallout?
Yeah.
And it was just like a really... What if it was Chernobyl meets Spider-Man?
Maybe that's why it failed.
That's why I'm
but
not
then
writing these
Chernobyl
movies.
didn't fail.
This is also true. Oh, you saw Chernobyl?
I mean, yeah, my brother made me.
Wait, say no more.
Yeah.
We have to save that for next week's episode.
Oh, damn. Okay.
We gotta get into the weeds of it.
So you don't know what happened? I mean, it's Chernobyl is like a... I mean, I don't want to spoil the end for you.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah.
I kind of did see it twice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Spoiler. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
All right.
Okay. So that's the thing. Spider-Man, once upon a time, might have been an Imagine Dragons...
Imagine Dragons
might have been a Spider-Man crossover.
Yeah.
World thing. Words, they escape me right now.
Could it be better or worse? We don't know, right?
I mean, I don't think it was the music that messed up that musical.
No, it was the falling off stage.
It was the dying. It was people dying in front of audiences.
I don't think anyone died, but I think people definitely did injure themselves pretty badly.
Close,
yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Bad enough.
Yeah.
Okay. The other things that's been happening, besides our lovely Comic-Con this past week, there was a Comic-Con in Brazil. And it was apparently one of the biggest, if not the biggest, footfall, I want to say, or something like that. They like to brag about things.
Sure.
Apparently it was a success. Here's what people are talking about. Marvel, because obviously.
Yeah.
So, the Feigster came back, and he had a lot to say about Phase 4 and things coming out. People were expecting him to drop some news about Deadpool 3. He did not.
He did not?
He did not.
Okay.
All he did was reveal a bit of footage from The Eternals, which will be the first movie after Black Widow. Hot take on Black Widow? Seen the trailer?
No.
Great. Good man.
But I don't watch trailers. They just wreck movies.
I know.
Why just watch the movie? Why do you need to know?
It's like I'm talking to a mirror.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. But are you excited, Black Widow?
I'll watch it. I'm going to watch it for sure. She deserves much more. She deserves much more than this. I'm not saying that because I'm championing some cause here. Mm-hmm. It's just that this is a very good character that just got kind of left in the middle and then ended abruptly.
Sure.
And we just didn't get any time to do anything with this.
Right.
We didn't even get to resolve this. It just kind of passed along, and then we're like, oh, okay, I guess she died. Whatever.
So optimistic for filling out the gaps between.
I just want to see
Civil
her
War and
have fun,
Infinity.
man. Honestly.
See her have fun.
I just want to see her have fun. Or even...
I have a feeling this is going to be the opposite of fun for her.
Let's see, though.
This is going to pull on... I mean, they say, as you would expect them to say, this is going to really inform a lot more about what happened in Endgame and Infinity.
Okay,
and inform a lot more of her decisions that she made.
Let's just see how cool she is.
Well, that's a given.
It is a given, but let's enjoy it. Yeah.
And we will.
Yeah.
Okay, that being said, what he talked about was The Eternals. The first movie coming up after the fact.
Yeah.
And also celebrating the fact that for the year 2020, the 4 big tentpole films from Marvel and DC are all going to be female directed.
Okay.
Which is pretty neat.
It is, yeah. I mean...
What a time to be
alive. Yeah, let's just say it and be done with it. Yeah.
That's great.
I just don't want any of these things to be forced. I mean, just do it when the time is right, the project is right, and the cast is right, the director's right. And if that's the case, then full power. Let's do it. I'm ready. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, with Eternals coming up after the fact, it is going to be the first time since 2014's Guardians that audiences are going to be given a giant ensemble cast that they know very little about.
Yeah.
Excited about this?
I am. The Eternals is actually, it goes into kind of the part of the Marvel Comics universe that really has its own cult following, which is Marvel
Which
Space.
you are.
This
a big fan, right?
is my PhD thesis. If I had to write one, it's Marvel Space.
I'm still super excited for Adam Warlock, man.
Exactly. That's
Nobody
what I'm
said
saying.
a word after Guardians 2.
That's what I'm saying. So the Guardians of the Galaxy is something like I had to look it up the first time because I was like, I know this, but I don't remember it. And then I found
you've never
it.
read Guardians?
No, I had, but like at that, because they were such a footnote at that time,
right?
And then they made it into this, and like there are so many other characters that are part of the Marvel Space universe, like that Marvel Space opera vibe that they were going for in the mid 70s. It was my favorite character is the Silver Surfer, as we know. So he's been around. He's showed up in our lives, and gone away. It's sad, and I'm happy and sad about it. But there's so many other characters left, like the Eternals, like Adam Warlock. Like we'll get to see some of the alien races get at things. You know, we've got a little glimpse with Captain Marvel and the Kree. We can actually now spend more time with a Skrull. Maybe I don't know. There's going to be a lot out there. And it's such a vast, wide kind of net that they've got over there with Marvel Space, but it really fits super well. It's strange because you have all the stuff that's happening on Earth as it is, and there's like so many X-Men and Avengers, and there's like all these things, and they're somehow interconnected. I feel like in some ways that the Marvel Space stuff is more organized and more connected because they couldn't imagine that wide as well. They kind of kept it narrow enough where it's accessible. But let's see now how they bring this to everybody else, because this can really quickly get convoluted in its not in the story sense, like I've said, but like in the who is this guy, what is this race,
what's his
that
deal?
kind of thing. Yeah. But I think it's going to be fun, and the Eternals are, if you don't know about it, there's no point us talking about it because that's half the fun, like of reading the Eternals and watching the Eternals. So
the difference,
I'm waiting for that. I guess
the difference that they have talked about here between the Guardians and the Eternals coming into this is that the Guardians were very much like everybody watching in that they didn't know anything about the Avengers. So while we were trying to figure out the Guardians, they themselves were trying to figure themselves out. And when they eventually met Avengers slowly one at a time, they had to figure it all out from scratch. Which was the bulk of the first half of Infinity Wars, the Guardians meeting people, which
that's
is
like
so fun.
Half the fun and humor in that movie.
However, the Eternals, on the other hand, because they are celestial beings and because they are such overseers of everything, they are totally up to par with everything that's been going on. They know everything that's happened, apparently. They know everybody for the most part, so it seems. But of course, nobody else knows them. So that could be an interesting flip in that everybody else in the MCU is now going to meet the Eternals who know more than they do.
Sure.
Unlike with the Guardians, which is everybody's figuring each other out, so it's kind of cool because you don't know who's sussed out somebody else better than the other. But in this case, the Eternals have the upper hand. So that's going to be...
It can be really great because you could have the scenario of the Watcher. The Fantastic Four wedding happened, Galactus showed up, the Watcher, like this... The Silver Surfer, that one story is so like legendary because of this angle of you guys have your little ant colony going on, but something so much bigger is happening, and I've just come to tap on the ant colony to tell you, listen, something massive is coming away. Please check it out.
Here, that's speaking of the massive thing coming away. The other thing that the Fikester teases is that there is a master plan that has been in the works this entire time, which does involve the Eternals, does involve the Avengers. Probably now is going to incorporate the Fantastic Four and X-Men in some capacity. Hasn't led on anything else. They revealed dates for stuff coming out down the line, but we still know only as much as we know about titles. The things we do know, though, about things coming up right around the corner are in the TV universe. So we're going to have to get used to now calling it the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, because they are really digging into that. Because with the release of Disney Plus and with the TV shows coming out, first of which being Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they've also told us that we can expect the newer shows that were announced at D23, like She-Hulk and Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, as early as next year, which is a lot sooner than I thought was going to happen.
I'm still shocked Moon Knight's getting anything.
I'm stunned. I love it. I only got to know him playing the phone game Contest of Champions. He's a good character. I like him. I don't know the first thing about him, but he looks cool. So I'm all in. But what I'm getting at is there's a cluster of new stuff coming out of Marvel right now. And what
we
they
don't
are,
know
what
the
they're excited
direction.
about.
That's what's
we
exciting.
We don't know the direction.
We don't know
And
what's
what we're
gonna
really
happen.
excited about is the fact that he has now said multiple times, and he's made it pretty damn clear at the latest speech he made at Brazil Comic Con, that we can expect a lot of interplay between the TV world and the movie world. WandaVision is going to tie directly into the Doctor Strange movie, which, as the name would suggest, Multiverse of Madness, is going to blow this whole thing wide open. And seeing as that's going to come in after the Eternals, whatever the hell they do, whatever ball they set up in the air, could foreseeably just easily walk in and out of anybody's show, anybody's movie. It's anybody's guess what's going to happen, because I think the way they seem to be going about it, considering that they've announced releases for things only one at a time, they're not talking about things as seasons. I'm expecting these to be one-off short form short stories. Think of it. It's like it's like maybe a 3-hour film split up into 6 episodes or 8 episodes or whatever. It's not going to be the continuing adventures of WandaVision. It's going to be this episode of their life told in TV form, but it is basically a movie because it's just one small snippet of their time. So many exciting things, but what I love is he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't have to.
He's told us a whole lot of nothing.
Because,
and it's really exciting.
What's really interesting about these last 10 years is how we consume this has changed so much. There's like literally a vocabulary now of how we talk about these things and how we're ready for this stuff and how we're looking at it. And then there's like the wider appeal and release for the movie industry, and there's casual fans. Mm-hmm. But slowly but surely, I think everyone realizes that this thing's going to have to narrow down once again.
Sure.
And I think that's what they're setting up for. So it's going to become more of the Marvel film industry soon,
Pretty much. Oh, they have taken away the title of Marvel Television. Yeah. It's now officially under Marvel Studios.
Yeah,
it's just under
that's
one
also
banner.
Part of the news, actually, right?
Yeah,
last week they just folded up Marvel Studios.
They did.
Yeah.
Cool.
I felt kind of bad about
corporatization.
that. Yeah.
I guess.
I hope that.
I hope they know what they're doing.
I hope all those guys went into the other office and actually got to keep their jobs, because it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I hope
we had some good moments from Marvel Studios. I mean, you
Marvel
had
TV,
the best movies. Yeah, Marvel TV. Yeah. You had the best moments because Shield.
Yeah, I did. I still have the best moments coming. 1 season left.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I gave up on that show like 4 seasons in or something.
Oh, I'm so happy you tried.
Yeah,
I
did.
So happy.
4 seasons, man.
All right.
I was like Tahiti. Sup with that.
See, the fact that you know what that means just makes me happy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end it on that. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This has been The Bulletin. Please write into us. We love to hear from you. Hopefully we'll see you guys again soon in person at some event or the other down the line. There's going to be a whole bunch happening in 2020. It's a big year ahead for us. We have a lot of things planned. More to be announced soon. Thanks, Sid. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week on our roundup of 2019 and Siddhanth Mehta's coveted hot takes. This has been The Bulletin. Thanks, you nerds.
घड़ी की टिक टिक के बीच अब वक्त हो चुका है टपरी पे मिलने का, चाय या कॉफी के साथ टपरी टेल्स सुनने का। सोचिए, अगर आपकी मम्मी, अक्का, दादी, नानी, जीजी, आजी भी आपके साथ इस चाय की टपरी पे एक चुस्की लेने आ जाए तो कैसी बातें होंगी? उनकी कहानियाँ कितनी नई या पुरानी होगी? एक्चुअली ना, टपरी पे पहली बार ये उनकी जुबानी होगी। तो मिलिए इन नए किरदारों से हर गुरुवार टपरी टेल्स पर। चाय की प्याली, एक नई कहानी with Madhuri Advani on IVM Podcast app, website or wherever you get your podcast from.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.